We can speak now to Joel Rubin, former Deputy Assistant Secretary of State in the Obama administration, and Joel led Jewish outreach for Senator Bernie Sanders' presidential campaign. Joel, first of all, tell us how this terrible attack is impacting Jewish communities.
Sumi, it's wonderful to be with you, and really this is what it means to be Jewish in America in 2025. The heightened fear in the community is palpable. We see threats coming from all sides, the spiking levels of anti-Semitic incidents and attacks online, in person. You know, just in recent days in my hometown neighborhood of Squirrel Hill, where I grew up in Pittsburgh, the site of the worst attack against Jews in the history of our country, the Tree of Life Synagogue. Just a few days ago, anti-Semitic flyers were spread around, and this is only 5 weeks after the governor of the state of Pennsylvania, who's Jewish, had his house firebombed on a Jewish Passover. So it's real, it's palpable. To your point, I have to mention as well, security, of course, hardened security is out there, but why should we Jews have to have security everywhere we go? Why should we have to have security at every synagogue, at every institution? It's insane, but unfortunately, that's the situation we're in right now.
Joel, what do you think the government can do, for example, to help protect some of these institutions, community centers, where the community does meet?
You know, there are many layers to this. Of course, there is the hardening, as we're talking about. There is a program called the Nonprofit Security Grant Program at the federal level. Unfortunately, President Trump actually requested less money this year for it. I think that'll get fixed by Congress. So that's the hardening of it. And then there are, of course, relationships and alliances across different communities that can help build buffers and educate people. But we've seen a real fraying of those alliances and relationships since October 7th. To be quite blunt about it, since October 7th, the American Jewish community has felt in large measures dissonant and separated and under attack from many communities with whom we partnered over the years. And so those bonds have broken and frayed. The irony, the cruel irony of last night is that there was an attempt to try to rebuild bonds. This was a meeting with multiple diplomats talking about aid to Gaza and humanitarian assistance in the future. And that, of course, was the venue where the terrorists came and murdered two young people.
And Joel, before we let you go, can you describe what the level of anti-Semitism is in the U.S. right now, what the threat level is for Jewish communities across the country?
Well, in my lifetime, I've never seen it higher. It just continues to grow and to escalate. 6 years ago, the Tree of Life attack, then the October 7th attack in Israel, which unleashed a torrent of hatred against Jews in Israel here in the United States. These individual attacks I referenced, the security at heightened levels, it really just is continuing to escalate. There are studies that thousands of attacks last year was the highest on record. The ADL says thousands of attacks last year. And, you know, Americans broadly are loving people, but we really need to put this back in the box. But right now, I've never seen anything so heightened when it comes to anti-Semitism in my lifetime.
Okay. Joel Rubin, always good to have you on our program. Thank you so much for joining.